What up? What up? What up? I see Popular Nobody Fire, man. I appreciate it. How y'all doing?
So, John, right now, like, how are you dealing with what's going on with COVID 19? How are you able to deal with your business and what you do for a living?
To be honest, I'm living good. You know what I mean? Like I prepared. Like one thing that I was always taught is that you prepare for war in a time of peace, and so that's just preparation. And so I've really not been affected. The only thing that's different is I'm putting longer hours in, because I am helping other schools and other situations with their distant learning stuff. So the only thing is I'm putting more time into something that I'm passionate about as well, not just cutting hair. So it's totally, I'm good.
Oh, we lost your video there for a second. Okay, so what I would like for you to tell these wonderful students, there's a lot of students in here, is how you got started. I think that would be huge for them to understand like how you got to where you are and like where you are right now.
Them dope glasses, by the way. I wish I had a pair of them. Them Ray Bans,
No, girl, this is from a Chinese stock called Firmu.
they look hard. I want a pair. Nah, so how I got started was I was playing college football. And in the time of playing college football, I was getting hit by grown men for free. So I was tired of getting hit by grown men for free. And my mother, Doris Mosley, my sister Lily, my sister Annie, my cousins, everybody, my aunts, they're all in the beauty industry. And so college wasn't for me. Like I thought about college. I thought I wanted to go to college, and then it just ended up not being for me. And so I just created this lie of me wanting to do hair, and that's what I told my mom, thinking that it'll buy me some time. And a couple weeks later, like not even a couple weeks, honestly, like a couple days later, I was coming down from upstairs, and it was some clippers on the table, and it was so funny that it was just a pair of Andis clippers. And my mom was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yo, who are those for?" And she was like, "Those are yours, and you got a couple hours to get dressed because we are going to enroll you in barber school." And that's really how I became a barber. And I didn't enjoy school. I hated it, actually. I hated barber school. I hated college. And then 6 months in, my mom was like, "If you really put some energy and effort to this, you might be good at something. You might be good at this." And so I did a lot of things growing up. Like I played piano, I tap danced. For y'all that don't know what breakdancing is, I did that. I loved to cook as a kid. Like I did all kind of stuff, but nothing really stuck. And then after that conversation with my mom about where I was at that 6 month mark in school, that's when I decided to put my energy into what I'm doing now.
I think that you know we all start in different paths. I mean, my path was very different from that. But one of the things is, I think all of them would like to know, for those of the students that don't know who you are, what are you doing right now? Like, what are your job roles? What is your company? What are you doing with your time?
So right now, what I'm doing with my time, I'm still a private educator for multiple companies, a 1099, basically a 1099 employee, which means I'm an independent contractor. I have my own brand, which is the Popular Nobody brand. Um, I also have Popular Nobody Productions LLC. It's another part of my company. So I have the brand that's a S corp, and then I have the LLC as the brand, and then I have the barbershop that's a LLC as well. And right now, I signed on as the campus leader for the Arlington Paul Mitchell Barbering Program. And so, right before all of this COVID-19 quarantine stuff happened, I signed on to take that role on. And, now I'm helping lead with distance learning for not just barbering, but creating content for cosmetology and just working everything out. So, I got my hands in a little bit of everything. With my brand, we're currently preparing for what's going to happen after COVID. Um, and we're talking about the nonprofit that we starting up and everything like that.
Awesome. So you have a question here. So after, oh, whoop, they're coming in quick. So after the pandemic is over, do you think people will be rushing to barbershops, thus giving the industry an immense boost, or do you think people will be scared and it will gradually come back to normal?
I think, to be honest, I think it's going to gradually come back to normal. You'll have some rush, but it ain't going to be like what everybody thinks because Like I said in the opening, you got to prepare for war in a time of peace. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans didn't have proper savings. And so they're going to be very limited on how they spend their money. And so I think we're going to see some boost, but then I also feel like, just being realistic, like that boost might not come for a while, because you got to look at what's happening right now. Everybody's doing online tutorials about how to cut hair, how to dye hair, how to do things like that. So if that's what's happening, then we're teaching our clients how to survive without us.
Awesome. So you got a thank you from Sal Palomino saying thank you for being a judge in the last battle in LA. It was fun.
Much respect, and anytime that I could help students grow, or anybody grow in general, like if that's what my job is called for that time, then that's what I'm about. So I appreciate you even showing up and being a part of that.
So being an educator, you've been an educator for how many years now?
I've been in the industry 19, so 19 years.
19 years. So what do you think when being an educator, what is your most positive thought on being an educator to what may be your strongest challenge?
The positive thought of being an educator is just being able to share and grow, not just my knowledge, but everybody's knowledge. We all learn from each other. So being on the road, being able to talk to different people and learn stuff from them and how they do certain things, but then also me being able to share what I've learned, for me, is one of those things that I appreciate. And I think that's why I love being an educator, because you learn so much and you give so much at the same time.
And with challenges, I mean, I've been an educator for about 7 years, and there's a lot of educators in this room. We can all agree we have our own fair share of challenges. What do you think one of your major challenges is being an educator from any standpoint, from educating students to even licensed stylists and barbers?
I think the biggest challenge is just knowing that every day everybody has different challenges, and so not going in with the energy. Just checking your energy at the door. No matter what you go through in life, you got to always check your energy. I think a lot of people don't do that, and they wear their emotions on their sleeve a lot, so it could bring the morale down in the room. And then as an educator, you get those people that want to buck the system, and they want to always like combat with you while you're on stage for no reason, but just figuring out like how to navigate a room and understand how people learn and understand what people are there for. They're not there just to see how talented one may be, but they also there to see how they connect and how to make things work in their life a little different. Like for me, my classes is not based just on haircut. My classes is based on mindset. My classes are based on making people better than at the art and skill set that we have, but make people better in general.
So this class, we labeled it the business of barbering. So I don't cut men's hair. That's something I do not do. I am very much more of a colorist. When you have people that are starting out in this industry brand new, because there's barber students in here that just started, there's Cosmo students that are about to go into barbering. When it comes to the business of barbering, what do you think are some important pointers for people that are starting out in the industry?
So, what are some important pointers that I would say is important for someone just starting? Understanding that you don't know everything. Like, none of us know everything. I don't care if you've been cutting hair before you went to school, you still don't know everything. What you do know, and what we all know, when you come into that building, you have created bad habits for yourself. And there's a million different ways to do what we do. And so don't think that your way is the only right way of doing things, because that's 100% false. And 9 times out of 10, those people are the ones that's going to fail, because they're not open to learning other ways of doing things and other ways of moving throughout, business. And just most people don't respect their time. They don't respect their journey. They don't respect the process. They want everything now, 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 because Instagram has given us an opportunity to see now, 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 now. And for me, it's more or less like, let's slow it down a little bit. Let's slow it down. Let's be patient. Like, people don't have patience these days. That's why fast food sales are booming so high. Look at if people slowed down and just made food at home, you wouldn't have DoorDash. You wouldn't have, Grubhub. Like, you wouldn't have those places, because we could slow it down. But our life is moving at a rapid pace. And I think right now, the people who have the ability to slow their life down, business and home life, in times before this, those are the people that's not going crazy. Those are the people that's actually like, yo, this is normal life for me. So I think if we just learn patience and starting out and opening a business and understanding what we're doing, we'll see a lot more success in our industry and longevity in our industry than, these, just fly by night Instagrammers.
I agree with you. I think one of the hardest things is when we get people who are brand new students coming in and we all know that they've been watching YouTube for a really long time or been on Instagram or been on social media, that it got them in the door, which is great, but there are still people that haven't made that decision to walk through the door. They still think by watching you on Instagram, they're like, I can do a fade, no problem. When I've been licensed for 10 years and still can't do that. So you got a great question. So for opening a barbershop, do you think opening from scratch is better than getting one, or that has everything in it and is already built?
That is an awesome question. I've never been presented that question before. So whoever asked that, kudos to you. Um, that's different. It's all up to you, honestly. Some people like instant rice. Some people like rice that you got to really watch it marinate and watch it cook. So for me, I prefer to have something that's a hollow shell and let me build it out the way I want to see it, compared to having, like, if you got all the furniture, yeah, that's cool. But you got to add your flavor to it. You got to add your touch to it, because a salon, our barbershop is a personal touch. It's a home away from home. So if you're walking into somebody's home already, then it ain't gonna feel the same to you. So you're gonna end up making changes anyway. So you're just gonna waste more money. So me personally, I just feel like having that shell that you want, and then going in there and doing it.
Same gentleman had the same question. His name is Matt. I always called him Matt Alicia, but it's Alicea.
What up, Matt?
But he wants to know, uh, would you do S Corp LLC for a barbershop?
My barbershop is a LLC.
You hear
What was that?
me? Yeah, and that's something I'm interested in my salon because right now I'm sole proprietor DBA, and I know that that can be, you're not protected as well as you are with an LLC. That much I've learned opening a business. Um, so, you own a barbershop currently, don't you?
Yes,
And where is it located?
it is in Mansfield, Texas.
That is correct. So you have owned other barbershops though in the past, or have you just worked behind the chair?
No, I just work behind the chair.
Okay, so you are. I know you as John Mosley, but a lot of people in this room know you as Popular Nobody. Can you explain on how that happened?
Popular nobody happened because just think about right now. You look at everybody's Instagram name. They're such and such fade, or they're blonde balayage queen, or blah 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 blah. And when you do that, you put yourself in a box where you can't really get out of that box, because that's what people expect for you. They expect whatever your name is going to be. And so even when it comes to marketing, you really can't market outside of that, because that's what your name says. So I started out as the Barber JM, and just looking at that, I was like, no, you got to be bigger than a barber. You got to do more than a barber. You have so many great skill sets, and you have so much that you can offer. Don't limit yourself. Don't just be a barber. And so, Red, you know me, like, I've been doing celebrities for so long, and I just been doing different things for so long. And I never really talked about who my celebrity clients are. I never really like boasted and bragged and all of that. And so one day, like, one of my close friends was like, bro, your work is everywhere. And he was like, you're kind of like a popular nobody. And then it just came natural like that. And that's when I took off with it. And now look what it is.
I think it's awesome. I remember when Popular Nobody started and I had like a pin and I was like, oh, I'm part of the tribe. I don't know. I was just like so stoked for you at the time.
I appreciate it.
And still am, by the way, still am. You do have another question. How long did you work behind the chair before you opened the shop?
So I worked behind the chair. I'm still behind the chair currently. One thing I learned in this industry is no matter what success you get from outside the chair or from around the chair, you still need to stay behind the chair. You need a home, and your barbershop has got to always be your home. No matter how much I traveled, early in my career, now in my career, I always make sure I have a clientele home to protect me when that kind of stuff slows up. So um, I've been like I said, I'm still behind it. Like I'm still grinding behind the chair. It's just you just mix it up a little bit. You just do things different. You just got to add a little bit of sauce somewhere else just to explore a little more.
I agree with that. I think, being an educator for so long, it's a great, it's inspiring, and it's fulfilling to be an educator. And anyone who is an educator will say that we don't do it for the money. We do it for more of the fact that we like to be educators and we like to inspire, and especially with the future of this industry, because again, social media has kind of taken our industry and changed it so much.
Right.
You have another question. Why do you think people are so afraid to raise their prices?
People just live naturally out of fear. You know, fear is something that we're taught as a kid. Don't jump off the bed, you're gonna hit your head. Don't cross the street without looking both ways, you're gonna get hit by a car. Don't touch that fire, it's too hot. So we're taught fear is not something that we're naturally born with. And I think people are afraid of losing clientele, but I raised my prices dramatically and I didn't care. And the reason why I didn't care was because half of those clients that I wanted to raise my prices on anyway wasn't the people that respected me for the amount of time and energy and effort that I put into my skill set and my knowledge behind what I do. So I'd rather raise the prices and lose those guys and keep the people that support me. And one of the things that I did do when I raised my prices, and this is a little gem for you guys, I raised my prices, but my clients that I liked and that supported me through all my travels and through everything else, I grandfathered those guys in. But I didn't post about it. I didn't yell it out to the world. I would wait till they sit in my chair. And I'm like, hey, I'm going up on my prices. You're grandfathered in. You're good. Your haircut price is still the same. But if anybody else asks you, this is the price you pay. And typically, those are the people that still turn around and paid you even more just because they respected what you were doing.
I think raising the price is one of the hardest things to do, especially, on my side of it, color is a little bit easier because we have the raise of cost, we have projects, but with barbering, it's a little bit different because you are having so many more clients per hour than, say, a stylist that is spending 4 or 5 hours with a client. I know that, you know, I mean, I probably would love to get a haircut by you, but I'm not ready to go short. But I
Don't
know
worry,
people that have
I've been
companies that
sharpening up. I've been sharpening up that other skill set. I've been getting
But
better.
no, I've watched your guest artists. I can't even count how many times at this point. And one of the things that I love is that you always talk about charging what you're worth, but also be aware of what you're worth. And I
Right.
think that's so important because, especially when you're just starting out, is being aware of what people's beauty budgets are and what they're expecting of you. I
Uh-huh.
think that's huge.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely charge what I'm like. I'm not charging what I'm worth, but I know what I'm worth. Like right now, my haircuts are $65, and I know I could get more, but why? I don't want to lose the regular common person that can afford those haircuts. I could go up to $100 easy, but I don't want to be a barber that gets paid only on special occasions. I'd rather keep that $65 price point and get paid for every 2 weeks.
I remember you telling me stories about the traveling you've had to do in the past for your clients, and like you've traveled all around the world for stuff like that. And I know that's not something you talk about on a regular basis, but I know the students would love to hear that,
Yeah.
is how often you've been able to travel. So we're going to get back to that because you do have questions coming in. What brand of clippers do you use in your tools?
I'm all Andis. I'm an Andis
I'm about to
guy.
say, I was like, I use all Andes.
Yeah, that's all I got. I've been uh, I worked with other clippers just so that I can know and have the knowledge of what the other tool represents and how does it perform. Because every class I teach, I got people that's different clippers. I just seen somebody pop up and say Bellus, so I need to know how Bellus perform to give you the proper knowledge behind that tool and know the number system. So I practice with everything, but when it comes down to it, and it's master.
Yeah, we all have our favorite tools. I've talked about that with my classes, is understanding like having your proper tools will make you feel comfortable in the art that you perform. But just remember that you don't need to buy a tool because someone told you to. You got to find what tool works for you, you
Right.
know? All right. So, how much is your overhead on average to run your barbershop? What's the costliest thing or item to maintain within the shop?
I definitely have a low overhead, and the reason why I have a low overhead is because I chose to go the studio route. And the reason why I chose to go the studio route is so that I can have that low overhead, still be able to travel, and not have to worry about managing a staff or not having to worry about did I leave the lights on, did I set the alarm, stuff like that. So I know everybody big grand scheme of things of like, yo, I want to own a big barber shop. I want to have 5 barber shops. But remember, every 5 barber shops you have, you got about 10 attitudes in each one. So how can you manage 50 different attitudes and still stay sane? And how to manage 50 different energies and still stay positive? So uh, map out your career. It's all about planning. How are you going to plan your career out? If you want to be a traveling educator or you want to be a traveling artist, it might not be the best time for you to open a shop right out the gate. You might want to hold that back and then open it when it slows down for you. So just be mindful of things like that. I feel is like one of the most important things. We all want the big picture, but sometimes we got to take smaller pictures.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that, I never thought I would own in 1,000 years. I never thought I'd own a salon, but I own a studio, and owning is small, starting small. Yeah, it's scary because you are now fully responsible, but you're also not worrying about 20 other people. So I think that's really important. So your next question is, I charge $30 for a cut now and found more people coming now that when I was charging 15 to $20. Why is that? Or what is your opinion on
Everybody loves expensive stuff. So that's just what it is. Everybody loves expensive stuff. Like we spend so much money on stuff that we really don't need, but because it's expensive, we like, yo, I got the best. Like that, so that's really what it is. Like not to discredit your skill set or your work, but you were doing the same $15 haircuts that you doing. Like the only thing that changed was the date that you went up on your price. Nothing else changed. You get better as you grow through time. But honestly, like if you were charging $15 on the 28th and on the 29th you went to $30, what changed? Nothing. It's just the fact that people want more expensive stuff. I was telling someone last night, rich people hang out with rich people. Why? Because they could have rich conversation. They could talk about rich stuff. And so that's really what it is. If somebody say, yo, I paid $30 for a haircut, they friend gonna be like, shh, what they doing different over there? Now it's your obligation to get that guy that walk in from his rich friend. It's your turn. Your friend did the job. He referred you just through conversation. But now you got to perform to that $30 expectation. And if you're not performing to that $30 expectation, then that's on you. It's not on your friend. He did his job.
So, I agree. I mean, I've always loved listening to you because you speak the truth and you can tell that you do, and I think that they're appreciating that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna speak
You're
nothing else. I'm not the guest artist that's gonna lie to you. I promise you that.
so yeah. So you have another question. Thanks for that. I like that method. What's something you wish you could have done during barber school, or tell yourself in barber school?
One thing that I wish I would have told myself earlier in barber school was cut hair with scissors a whole lot earlier in my career. Because in the last 5 years, 6 years, that's when I molded my scissor cutting ability, and I took off like a rocket ship. So if I could look back and say anything that I regret in my career, that's it. Not sharpening my skill set. Fading is easy. The hardest thing to do is learning how to manipulate longer hair and learning how to cut with scissors. And so I wish I would have took that time a whole lot sooner to learn that. And that's the only thing I look back and I wish I would have told myself.
Yeah, I wish I would have practiced more fading in school. So what would you say to people who don't take their time on haircuts? People who rather do 10 to 20-minute cuts instead of 5 to 1.5 hour cuts. And what is your opinion on timing?
Timing is key because time is money and money is time. And we all watching this right now because we like money all the time. You understand me? Um, It's okay to be fast if you're efficient and you're consistent. If you're not efficient and you're not consistent, then you need to slow down and learn how to become more consistent and efficient and then get back to the speed. So that's what I recommend. Like, I could stretch a haircut out for 2 hours, but I can also cut a haircut in 7 minutes. So it just really depends on, you know, what you want to see from yourself. And the bad thing about being faster is that your clients know at some point they could show up to work late. They could show up to their appointment late, and then they look at you and say, "Well, I know you could do it because you did it before." So if you keep that speed in your back pocket and only pull it out when you need it, you're gonna stay ahead of the game. But if your clients see you doing it every week, where it's like, oh, I got a 15-minute haircut, and they got a 30-minute appointment, they're gonna start showing up 10. It's gonna start out with 5. It's gonna start showing up with 10, and then they're gonna be like, well, I could push the limit. He could get me out of here. And then they're like, well, you did it 2 weeks ago. You got me out in 15 minutes. So that's my biggest issue with wanting to be quicker. Like, train yourself to become faster for situations, but understand, keep that in your back pocket.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, truth, yes, like emojis central. My clients are my business cards. Like, you're getting a whole bunch of comments on that. So, with Popular Nobody, again, it started out with John Mosley, but now you have actually a team of
Yeah.
people that work for you, that you guys are a collective of Popular Nobodies. Can you kind of go into that and how you built that team?
Yeah. So I started out as just myself, but nowhere in life do you get somewhere by yourself. So I had to put the right pieces to the puzzle around me. We're all individuals still. We all have our own individual brands. And if you don't, we help you build those. But it's a family. Like, we look out for each other. We give opportunity for each other to make money in other places. We talk every day, you know, and they're all from different aspects of life, all different walks of life, from all different states. There, so, and it's not just barbers. Most people think like, oh, because I'm a barber, I have nothing but barbers with me. No, we have cosmetologists, we have makeup artists, we have, camera guys that consider themselves part of the team. We have everything. It's just a collective group of individuals that, you know, family vibe.
I know a few people on your team, Stephanie Martinez and Stormy. They
Yeah,
are some of the coolest broads I've ever met in my life, and
yeah,
they're cooler than me. Um, but incorporating being solely a barber and incorporating other cosmetologists. Now I know your mom and your sister both are in the industry as well.
so is my
Was
wife. My wife is a
oh, your
Cosmo
wife?
too.
That's I haven't yet to meet her. I've only seen pictures.
She's upstairs. She's working. Somebody got to work around here.
You know, I know that you've done a lot of hair shows.
Yes.
Was it hard though, kind of blending all of the different aspects of the beauty industry into Popular Nobody? Was that hard, or was it more fluid for you?
It was more fluent actually, because I didn't look at somebody and say, you're a Cosmo, you can't be over here. I looked at it like, if you hella cool and you got good vibe, you got good energy, and your mindset is on nothing but positive and moving forward and wanting to be great, then you work over here. If you humble, you got a great heart, you give more than you trying to receive, then you could work over here. And so that, to me, that's, I don't look at a skill set or that person's knowledge for the industry as what makes me decide if I want them around us as a team member or not. I look at the person as an individual and say, how are you going to fit? Will you fit like a brother to all the ladies on our team? Will you fit like a sister for all the brothers on, like, how do you fit as a family member, not as an artist? And I always said, I could teach a bum how to cut hair, but I can't teach a bum how to be a good person. So I'd rather be around people that's good people and help get their skill set up than somebody that's like super uber talented, but they got a horrible work ethic, they got a horrible attitude, and they just disrespectful. Like, if you notice, everybody on our team, they super loving, they super caring, they reach out. When you reach out to them, they reach out and talk back. Like, we not that uptight individuals that you see running around the industry right now. Sad to say, but it's just facts.
And there's a lot of social media influencers out there that I like to call their smoke and mirrors. where they got this beautiful facade, but then when you meet them in person, you're like, but wait, where's the smoke and mirrors? Where's the person that I see through social media? And I think that's something that I value is when, because I know a lot of people on your team that you're very correct that what you see online is what you get in person. You even get more in person. They're just in depth. And that's hard to be, it's very hard. Um the hold on, I'm getting a question. Yeah, oh yeah. So oh god, there's like 80
Yeah,
questions
they
just
just
popped into one
popping it.
thing.
Bloop, 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 bloop,
So
bloop.
I know. So I don't know what this means, but I'm going to try to read this correctly. So the Ellen check right when the talk show, there's so much news coming out of better about being toxic. Oh, I know what she's trying to say. So right now, with the news, and I hope this get this right. Her name's Alicia, so I hope I get this correct. But with the news right now, everything is toxic. You're not
Right.
really seeing a positive news vibe out there right now. Maybe where do you get your inspiration from right now, especially since everything around us in our industry and in the world is so negative?
It's so funny that that's a question being asked. I've always read, as long as you know me, I always have positive energy. When I walk in the building, I smile, I laugh. Like I'm that guy that shoot jokes when the joke shouldn't be said. But at the end of the day, it's like everybody take life too damn serious, and for me, it's like let's have fun, let's enjoy the people that we have around us. And so I listen to Eric Thomas every morning. I get a little Eric Thomas in every morning, and I spread whatever I listen to. I pass that down to my team every morning in our group chat, just as like their morning motivation. I love listening to music to get that positive influence and that mindset going, and that's just it. Like it's simple. Life is simple when you just stay consistent at who you are. We all go through our ups and downs. We all fight demons sometime, but it's how you beat those demons and how you overcome those demons to continue to build who you are and grow as a human being. And so that's just really it. Like I just always try to put the positive stuff in my mind. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some ratchet stuff. Like I love some ratchet stuff. But at the end of the day, like I just look at it as entertainment and not no don't look at it like I'm like feeding into the ratchet. Like Tiger King is great. It's horrible TV though. It's horrible everything, but I love some like I hate ignorance, but I love certain type of ignorance like that. You know what I mean? Like that's just pure ignorance, but it's funny to me. So don't get me twisted. Like I'm still that dude that's still fool with the ignorant stuff, but I hate ignorance on different levels. And so Eric Thomas is a great place to get your inspiration from. Shit, go to I didn't mean to say that bad word, but that's just me. I'm sorry. Um, if you go to my Instagram is not hair based. It's definitely all mindset, motivation, inspiration with a sprinkle of hair. Because if you look at everybody's social media right now, what are they doing? Everybody doing the same thing. Posting haircuts. They're posting videos of how to section hair. They're posting, oh, let me show you how to do this. Damn, you can't use that right now. You need something else. The people who have the strongest minds in these times right now are the people that's going to survive after this. Like so many people, think about how many people go to the gym every day and they only work out their muscles, but they never work out their mind. Like you got to strengthen your mind. Kobe wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, he wasn't the biggest, he wasn't none of that. But what he did do was get and adapt this Mamba mentality to say, can't nothing break me. And that, if your mind is that sharp, you win every time. I promise you. So if you're looking for an Instagram page that's give you some hair, but also give you that positive energy, that motivation every time you wake up, then go to my page. And I slide in some ignorance every now and then. But yeah, that's what my page is about. Laughing, happiness, fun, and hair sometime.
And that goes along really well with the next question that he had was, I love that you're more inspirational and not just hair. I think that's one of the main reasons why I love to watch you guest artists is because you'll have a 2 hour class and you'll talk more motivational for like an hour and a half, and then it'll be a half an hour haircut. You know what I mean? And that to me right there just goes to show that you're not just about making the money, you're about inspiring. And that's huge in our industry because there's not enough people out there who are truthful about that. There's more people that are truthful about making the money and not worrying about the future of our industry. And I think
Right.
that's so important. because his next questions was who are the barbers in this industry that you look up to?
uh, I'm gonna piss some people off, but at the end of the day, not too many. If you're not really on my team, I don't really look for inspiration from other barbers. It's just, you know, I've been in this a long time. I'm inspired by the people that's closest to me. I love the people that's closest to me. And so I know who they are as people. So they inspire me. I do have like my big bro in this industry is Roderick Samuels. And if you haven't seen that guy, go check him out. He does a lot. He reminds me a lot of me, and I think that's why I like him, and I vibe with him well. But I'm inspired by different things. I'm inspired by like National Geographics and stuff like that. I don't get inspired by too much hair because we're all creative artists. Like I like to paint my own pictures.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. So you're getting a lot of amazing feedback. A lot of people are, listening to a motivational track right now. Anyone recording this is amazing. Can we see this later? So you're getting a lot of positive feedback on how inspirational you are.
Well, I appreciate it. It's just like I said,
So
it's a vibe.
Mhm. I agree with that. For me, I've been in the industry for like, a long time. I know that there's David and Bree and Adrian and Michael who are in this class that have been, these are all educators who have been in here for a really long time. Uh, so we know that you have done a lot of big things, but the students, they want to know some of the stuff that students want to know, which we talked about it earlier, like, what kind of celebrities have you done? And, where have you traveled? I mean, I think a better question to that, because there are so many answers to that question, is what is one of the most positive yet fulfilling yet fun thing you've done in your career that would inspire them as well?
Last year, I had the privilege, not even the ability, because I wake up. Anytime you wake up, you got an ability to do something. But I had the privilege to go to Germany, London, Scotland, uh, and Germany, London, Scotland, Italy, and to launch Maverick as the brand ambassador for Maverick. I spent 10 days in those different places. And for me, it was like a dream come true. Like somebody that only been in the States, and, people took shots at me and was like, yo, yeah, he's cool, but he hasn't been international. And then when I went international, I didn't even post about it. I just laughed like, yeah, international J now, bro. But that probably was the best thing so far in my career, topping all the celebrities that I work with and all of that. It was just getting to go somewhere else and learn their culture and see culture and just be a part of something that's different and learn something totally different.
So a part of the big things that you do, I think one of the funnest things, and actually Stephanie took me to my very first one, which was a barber battle. And I got to watch you judging, and the face that you have when you're judging is hilarious because you're just like having fun and everyone's stressing out and running and doing all these crazy things. Do you have any advice on barber battles or competitions for students and or barbers that are licensed?
Yes, I do. One thing that you guys got to know is the rules. Know the rules, because sometimes you will get cheated out by not knowing the rules. So ask for the rules of the competition before it happens, so that you can, if you look at somebody and you say they didn't win because they didn't follow the rules, make sure you bring that up, because the rules are written, but most people never even ask for them. So know the rules. That and just stay calm. Just stay calm. Most people get scrambled. They want to run, and they like, just because it's a 15 minutes fastest fade, like I done seen those rules get jaded a little bit in different competitions. So for me, it's like, just know your rules. That's the biggest things. Know the rules. I have seen so many talented people lose just because they didn't know the rules. Like your haircut could be the best, but if you didn't follow the rules, like a total look competition, total look means from apex to toe tip. That's total look. But if you come in and your dude got on a baseball jersey and jeans and it's total look, elegant, like that's not total look, my man. Like, so you lose, but you might have had the best haircut. And then now you got somebody mad as hell because, well, my haircut looked better than the one that won. Yeah, but you didn't follow the rules. So just follow the rules. I think that would be my biggest advice. Um, and knowing what tools you're going to use beforehand and just be prepared. So be prepared and follow the rules.
I remember when I watched that competition, I got really confused because I saw someone cutting their own hair. I was like, wait, what's happening? Where, what? I was so confused. And then Stephanie was like, well, that happens when the model doesn't show up. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know. A question coming in from Miss Hope. I have the opportunity to work in a salon in my hometown, but it's a small salon. I want to do more and reach out of my comfort zone and do bigger things. Do you think that it would be more beneficial to start in a familiar place where I know everyone and then move on to other things later down the road, or seek greater opportunities elsewhere straight out of the door?
That's an awesome question. So, what I would always recommend is, like I said in the beginning, like not even in the beginning, but a few questions back, start in your backyard. Like, build a platform for yourself in your own backyard because it just makes it so much easier for you to leave and come back. Like, you could get money from anywhere. A push of a button right now will allow you to make money anywhere. But if you don't have a solid foundation back where you're from, if you don't understand how to make money in your own area and build up the support system in your own area, it's going to be hard as hell to come back now that you like superstar somewhere else.
Was that hard for you, especially since you worked in the LA area and then moved to Texas, which, by the way, guys, he lives in Texas. Um, yeah. I remember when you told me you were moving to Texas, and I was like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah,
why?
it caught
Because I remember
everyone
how
off
many
guard.
opportunities you have in LA. So was that hard for you?
Nah, I'm like, honestly, I made the decision, and then within 6 months I was gone. You know, I didn't hesitate. I didn't do none of that. I was like, yo, time to go. Like, you get that clock and that internal clock that's telling you when it's time to make that change. And so I literally made that decision, made my mind up, and I made the move happen. And don't think my LA opportunity stopped. Like, I most of the time people don't even know I'm hopping on a plane flying to LA and I'm back home in Texas in the same night. Like, I literally just did something in LA right before all this COVID stuff hit. I flew to LA, did a photo shoot, a video shoot for a well-known rapper, and then I flew back home in the same day.
You know they're going to want to know who, because that's the mentality of students. Who is it? Tell me everything, John. Who is the rapper?
It was I worked with Chance the Rapper and Randy Newman. And Randy Newman is, to me, Randy was more impressive than Chance because Randy is the dude who wrote the theme song to Toy Story. Like, bro, like, that's big. Like, I felt like, yo, I did something, you know?
So I just you touch base on relocating. So did you see a major difference in your clientele going from Texas to California or anything like that? Did you have to make any adjustments in what you were doing or any sacrifices in the type of clientele or anything like that?
That's a great question. No, honestly, by me moving to Texas gave me an opportunity to change my prices again. I'm the new kid on the block. I could charge whatever I want to. You know, who's going to tell me I can't? There's nothing to compare me to, you know? So I looked at it like that. And I just built my clientele slow here. Like, I didn't rush to do it. What I did was um, I went to start sponsoring my son's football teams and my son baseball team and stuff like that, and got into the community before I asked the community to get into my shop. And that's literally what I did, and that's how I attacked it. And so, yeah, I didn't see I didn't worry about nothing. If I make a business move, like Red to tell you guys, like, everything I touch turn to gold, and it's because I'm very patient. I think about it. I literally like sit back and think everything out before I make the jump. And once I make the jump, that means I must have felt like it was a perfect situation for me to make that move.
I agree with that. I think clientele is very different. I started my journey in a little tiny town called Orchid, California, which was an hour north of Santa Barbara. And let me tell you, when I moved to Santa Barbara, my clientele drastically changed. But I think it's so true about being a part of the community and just kind of getting your name out there. And it's true, you can charge what you want. And I think, for you, people know who you are. So it's a little easier for you. But at the same time, it's just being a little bit more positive and open minded to that situation.
Yeah, I had a
We
weird
got a great question
situation. Like me and my
from
homeboy was
Juan. He's actually one of our.
what was that?
Go ahead. No, you talk.
Me and my homeboy, we had a weird situation. Like we was walking into this store, and this dude like looked at me, and the California dude in me, like I was like, bro, what you staring at, bro? Like, and then the dude was like, are you Popular Nobody? And I was like, nah, that's not me. And then my boy, literally, we both have on Popular Nobody gear. And I'm like, nah, that's not me, bro. And then we just laughed about it, like as we kept walking. But it's funny. It's definitely different. It's definitely a different feel.
I think that's funny because I can see you doing that just because you'd be like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
Nah, it wasn't even that. It was just more or less like how you know me, bro. Like, so I don't, nah, it ain't me. I don't know who
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Okay, so Juan is one of our barber students. He asks, for someone who is losing motivation slowly, what advice can you give someone to stay motivated and not lose that motivation?
Man, pick the right mentor. Pick the right mentor. Find somebody you could talk to. Follow. I keep cussing. I'm sorry. Follow me and just DM me. Like I talk to everybody that hit me up in my DM. Like I don't shy away from that because everybody needs support. Everybody need help, and I have an awesome team that will also reach out to you. So utilize us as a collective group to help you. Like we all get ups and downs. We all go through so much, but if you got a solid foundation of people around you, true people that like you respect their opinion, you respect what they tell you, and you believe in what they tell you, you'll be all right. So just put the positive people around you. Stay motivated and strengthening your mind, not just in your skill set.
So, question on your mentor. So, when you're trying to trying to find the best mentor for you, do you have an opinion on whether they should be in or out of the industry to keep it relevant? Or is it just more of a personal mentor? What would be your recommendation on exactly how to fine tune that mentor?
Great question. Honestly, a mentor is anybody that you could connect with. So a lot of times you can't connect with people in this industry because we get this thing called an ego. And so because you can't connect with them, they won't answer your call, they won't reach out to you, they're not going to answer a text message. It's really hard to connect with those people. So you need to find people that you can connect to, people that you can actually call or get a hold of, and pick those people as your mentor, because those are the people that you value their voice, not just the fact that they did some cool work.
Mentors are important. How many times have I emailed you about mentors of my students over the years?
A lot.
A lot. You guys, I'm telling you, the one thing about John, it doesn't matter how many Instagram followers he has, it doesn't matter how busy he is. He's always going to, respond, which I think is a huge thing, especially where our social media is right now. So you have a question. Why not open a shop in Cali and let someone manage it for you?
Why not? Because that means I still got to come back to California a lot. That has been in the thought process. It has been in the thought process, opening up a few shops in different areas, putting people in place that I trust in there, because it's all built off of trust when you decide to expand businesses into different states and stuff like that. So who knows? I'm not going to say no to it, and I'm not going to say like, it ain't something that has been in the talks. I'm going to just say right now, I'm not going to tell you when that may happen or where that may happen, but just know it ain't closed off.
So, with traveling back and forth, and you probably do have a regular clientele, is it hard to maintain those regular clientele, or they will kind of follow you wherever you go?
Great question. Not my clientele, they pretty much follow me. Like I set their schedule up off of my schedule. So I don't even like in the shop. I don't typically work till Thursday, Friday, Saturday anyway. So I just set that schedule because my work travel schedule, I was traveling 3 or 4 days a week, every week. And I typically leave on Saturday night or Sunday morning, and I don't come back home till Wednesday. So that's how I worked my schedule. So I only worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And when you're charging the right price, you ain't even got to work that long or that hard. So
Oh, yeah. So, great question is how important is advertising yourself, such as branding and products for barbers?
that is the key. Like if you're not marketing yourself, if you're not branding yourself, what are you doing it for? Like if you look at myself right now, look at what I'm wearing. Everything is branded, even from the stuff hanging on my walls in my office. Like my chain is branded. My jersey is a Popular Nobody jersey. My hat is Popular Nobody. Like you have to always have your brand on you or around you at all times because you want it to become a household name. People have to get familiar with your logo and they have to get familiar with who you are. And so for me, every time you see me, you're gonna see me with something Popular Nobody on. I know people be like, damn man, you always got that on. And I'm like, yeah, you always got that on too, but it don't speak nothing about you. Yeah, that's right. So that's just what it is. Like I'm always support my brand and put my vision in front of what I do because at the end of the day, if I don't support me, then who gonna support me?
I agree with that. It's funny because the last hair show I went to was Long Beach. And I saw so many people walking around with the pins, with the shirts, with hats. And I was like, oh my God, he's everywhere. And I hadn't even seen you. And I didn't even see you that show, but I saw everyone else repping everything.
Right.
Um, no, but it's cool. Um, I think I know the answer to this question, but I'd like for you to answer it for them. Is what was the first brand to help you market Popular Nobody?
Who? Uh, man, that's funny. Honestly, it was. Um, it was a. I'm gonna just say Paul Mitchell.
Was it because I thought it was the hair art, the box? Was that not the first thing?
Oh, you mean like on something?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. No, if you're talking about putting it out there to the rest of the world on a product, it was definitely hair art. Hair art helped me create that. I actually came to them with an idea about a barber case. And so everybody's running around now with this black and gold barber case and it has other people's name on it, but that came from me. I sold that idea to Hair Art. They're a partner of mine. I got Hair Art Popular Nobody Combs. So yeah, Hair Art was definitely the first to actually put my logo on another product.
Now they're wanting to know: do you sell T-shirts? I feel like you sell a whole wardrobe, don't you?
And listen, when you got this hustle mentality, everything got a price tag. If you want this jersey off my back right now, it come with a price, but you can have this one too. Um, yeah, we got hats. We got T-shirts. We was really ready for Caper. We did a whole like line of stuff for Caper. But we definitely have hats. We definitely have shirts. We have our own our barber capes, the ape shit capes. We have those with the gorilla on them. We got the new gorilla shirts out right now. We got the Popular Nobody dad hats. We got the Popular Nobody collegiate baseball hats. We got this Popular Nobody hat. But if you go to my site, some of the stuff is up on our website. The new stuff that we had made was for Caper, so we didn't put it up on our site. And since Caper didn't happen, all our stuff is in LA at Stephanie house right now because she was holding it for me. But if you go to my website, which is www.thepopularnobody.com, you can go shopping right off of there.
So real quick, we're gonna pause real quick. I just wanted to introduce you to this is Erin. This is our COO. She wanted to meet you.
What's up, Erin? How you doing?
Thank you for coming and educating our students. We appreciate it.
Man, when Red called me, I said, yo, you don't even gotta ask. Let's do it. I know I keep calling you. I keep giving out your hood name. I'm sorry. But When she called, that's one thing about people who and she can contest to this. Anybody who's ever supported me from the bottom, I ain't never switched up. I ain't never changed up. If you supported me at the bottom, I'm gonna support you no matter what life any of us sit at. And so when she called and banged my line and was like, "Yo, I need you to do something for me," I said, "Yo, say no more. We just work out the date, work out the time, and I'm in it." So I appreciate it. Whatever y'all need me to do. What was that?
Her hood name too.
Oh yeah.
You and we call her by her hood name too.
Yeah, so I'm just used to it. Like I don't know nothing else. Like I'm red.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man. And when all of this dust clear, if y'all want me to come do this in person, I'm gonna come do it in person. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Yeah, they would all appreciate that. I know that for sure. I remember, I think everybody would like to know how I met John. So how I met John, I was at a training when I was a teacher for Paul Mitchell, and he was watching a soccer game on his iPad when we were supposed to be doing an activity. And I was like, dude, are you watching soccer right now? He goes, I'm not doing this. I'm like, oh, I'm red. Yeah, what's up? I'm John. Like, cool. I guess we're friends now. But I think that,
Just call me out.
Oh, wait a minute. So I think the thing is though, I've watched you grow. I mean, that was what, 7 years ago now, and
Yeah.
I think everyone here can attest that being motivational is so much more important than I think. The best way I could put it: hard skills versus soft skills. I think that's something we were trained on a lot. I still work on that every day. And I think that your soft skills, even though people may think you have a hard exterior, your soft skills have always been bomb. You've always been able to talk to someone who walks through the door with a brand new barber to someone who may think they have that smoke and mirrors mentality. And it's awesome to watch.
Yeah. What we do as barbers and stylists, most people got it confused. Most people think what we do as barbers and stylists, it's 90% haircutting, 10% personality and being able to talk to people. But in my mind, it's different. It's 90% personality and adaptability and being able to relate and talk to people. And then the other 10% is just the skill set that I have, the art, the ability to create art. So that's how I look at it, and that's how I feel like it has given me such success in this industry. It's not leading with my art, but leading with my heart.
So I think leading with your heart is it's such an old saying, but it's so true. Like I've been an emotional basket case my whole life.
I know.
I take everything emotionally. I like how you said you knew because but you had a great question. So what's your daily motivation go to? Your music, your speakers, your mindfulness. What is your daily motivation?
When I wake up in the morning, my phone is on do not disturb from the night before. So at 10 p.m., my phone goes on automatic do not disturb, just so I could clear my mind and it doesn't come off of do not disturb till 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning. So in the morning, I just wake up, I look at my fish tank, and I just chill by the fish tank, feed my fish, and do that. And then I'll turn around, step into my office, and then that's when I get on my morning calls and stuff like that. After my morning calls, I get on and I'll watch Eric Thomas. And then after I listen to Eric Thomas, I go through like a little rabbit hole on YouTube a little bit. And then I find some of the funniest, ratchetest stuff I could watch to get me laughing and get me in that happy place and that happy mood after I filled my mind with nothing but motivation and inspiration and positivity. And then after I do that, I might throw on some Mozzie. I might throw on some Kendrick. I might throw on some Outkast, like some whatever, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z. If I'm really like thinking and in that hustler mind frame and I'm really like planning out something, and I typically listen to Jay-Z. If I want to be clever and witty, I'm going to Wayne. But if I want to get that street gutter mentality, I go to Mozzie and stuff like that. So it just really, really depends. But that's just what I do. That's my routine.
Do you have a path, or can you maybe explain your path, what it takes from starting at the bottom, like all of us or all of them are in school right now? Shut up. We're all in school right now, and then where it goes from starting right when you get into the industry and how to get up to the top of like where you're at, whether what it looks like, your recommendations on how to do that in the most successful way.
So starting from the bottom, um, you just got to be willing to be open to learn. You got to want to learn. You got to want to be open to being coached. A lot of people don't want to be coached. They just feel like they know it all. So you got to be open to that in order to grow. And then once you start that and having that ability to let people tell you the bad things that they see about you, then you're ready for success. You're able to accept growth. And then from that, um, staying consistent is a big key. You want to stay consistent. You want to put all your energy. Like in life, we only got a certain amount of time and energy that we can really go hard. And I feel like right now I'm still climbing the mountain of going hard. Like I love working hard. Like I don't mind that challenge of working hard. Like it fuels me. And so if you got that work ethic, you don't want to, you probably not going to want to really see the success that you want or that you see for yourself. And then, through this industry or through life in general, we all face with different challenges. And the more challenges you have, some people give up. But right on the opposite side of that door of pain is your purpose. And you just got to be willing to go through the pain to get to your purpose. And once you do that, your everything starts to click. It starts to become easy. Success, once you hit a certain level of success, other success become easy because you did everything that you needed to do, from work ethic to energy to learning how to manage yourself is the hardest part of success. Understanding how to be like, yo, you're tripping is the hardest part of success. So the more you're able to look at yourself and be like, yo, you are stepping out of line of who you are, then once you get that down pat, that's when success happens and it starts to become super easy, super fun. And most people don't enjoy the struggle of building. You got to enjoy the struggle. You got to enjoy the pain, and you got to enjoy the failures. You got to enjoy the letdowns. You have to enjoy all of that to be able to enjoy the other side of it. And so for me, that's always been my thing. Like, it's been plenty of nights that I'm sure that I done call Red pissed about something. And, hot because somebody said something and I just wanted to react. But I had to not react and just kind of like sit back and be like, okay, is this the smartest thing for me? And now having a team of people, anytime I react, it doesn't just affect me, it affects everybody around me. So I'm always cautious of, you get your trollers on Instagram, and the other side of me, I want to react. But the business side of me is like, you know what? I know you don't like this. So what I'm going to do is go even harder just for you. And I'm going to make sure I'm talking to you. And I want you to enjoy this conversation we about to have that the whole world don't know. But me and you know, I'm talking directly to you. And once you and that's me. Like, that's my attitude. And that's why, that's why you see this silverback gorilla right here. That's what that's about. So it's like that apex predator, so that's how you do it. You just got to enjoy the disrespect. You got to enjoy the letdowns. You got to enjoy all of that to enjoy the success.
I agree. I've definitely heard you both extremely heated and extremely professional. I've heard both sides of it.
Probably in the same conversation.
I just talked to you recently about a situation, and your advice was so clear and so true, but I could hear the flames coming out of your ears all the way out here. But the thing is that you're very eloquent in how you say things, where you don't, even if it's just you and me on the phone, you're still trying to be respectful, which I think is hilarious because it's just you and me. But there's that conversation that is so important to have with your mentors, because you will always be one of my mentors, but a friend as well. And I think it's so important to have industry, doesn't matter how big or small they are. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely.
If you could give your pre-barbering, right? If you could give your pre-barbering self, so before you were a barber, like when you were a student, advice what you are now in the industry, what would it be?
If I could give myself some advice right now, just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Love all parts of this because it ain't easy. And, just love it. enjoy it and, be open to everything.
So in you earlier you were talking about, from where you were at the very bottom to where you are now. Did you have a major turning point in your career that kind of shot you up to success, or did something happen in your life that you were like, oh damn, like this is where I'm going and this is probably gonna get me there
Yeah,
that you're
really.
willing to
Um,
share?
yeah, and I'm gonna watch my tone in this one because this one is a touchy subject. But for so long, I was told that I wasn't gonna be successful in this industry because I was a hotshot barber. Like I was that guy already. And for me, it was like that's your perception of me. It's not who my perception of me is. Yeah, am I skillful? Yeah. Am I talented? Yes. But can I be coached? Can I learn how to, be better? Yeah. But because your perception of this is the guy you think I am, you already turned me into a negative situation in your mind. So for me, it was more like once you realize, and I'm speaking just in general basis because I don't want people to take this kind of crazy, but in just general, and hear me out when I say this, companies will use you and they will do everything they can to use you for a certain amount of time frame, meaning that when you hot, companies gonna eat you up and they're gonna work you, work you, work you, work you, work you. And then when they feel like you're not hot no more, think about a horse. A horse wins all kind of races, but as soon as he lose that one, that horse is no longer good. He go to the stable and he ain't never brought back out. So, but the horse is used to stud and produce other small horses like him. But that doesn't devalue who you are. It's just maybe your focus shifted because you realizing people coming to you with a hidden agenda. And if you recognize that hidden agenda, you look bad for recognizing it. But at the end of the day, you just got to keep pushing. And I think for me, the turning point was when I realized that, man, I'm great at what I do, and people just using me for the talent that my hands provide and the gift that I have to talk to people. Why can't I do that for myself and my people? And so that was the turning point when I started to give a damn about Popular Nobody and Popular Nobody brand. And that's how it changed for me. It was more or less like I started caring about my vision. I started caring about my passion. I started caring about my purpose. And when I did that, my career shifted.
I think that's very positive, and I think it's very true. I just, it's we all you I know your story, mine, and I think we both have major pivotal moments in our career, and if it wasn't for those pivotal moments, we won't be where we're at right now.
Right.
I never thought in a million years I'd be living in San Diego. That's for sure.
I didn't think so either.
So I belong in Israel, I know. So uh,
Oh.
I see. I miss you. Okay. So what is your next big step in your career?
The next big step in my career right now, we're working on a nonprofit organization called the Nobody Way Foundation, where we're about to help this industry in a whole nother way. So that's the next big step. The other big step is putting my team on with some other business ventures and looking to buy property and land and stuff like that with my team, and just putting people in a better position to win in life, not just in the beauty industry, but life in general. So those are my next big steps. Leadership.
Well, I see you as a leader, and I think that's awesome. I think your team also, his team is amazing, and I know a lot of the artists. I haven't met a lot of them too. They're from other parts of the nation I haven't been, but when we're going to be wrapping these up here in just a minute, but if you could give some final words of advice or anything that you could say to the future of this industry that's in this room right now, what would you say?
I honestly, I appreciate everybody like chiming in and asking questions and supporting distance learning, because right now it's very key in y'all life this is a time that has changed everything for how we lived and how we're gonna live. And just accepting the distance learning challenge is a big up. Kudos to y'all. But you know, be open to change. Be open to um, new ideas. Be open to being better than what you are right now. You woke up might feeling like you wasn't good enough for something, or you might have woke up feeling like you're not the best you. And if you know that, then go be the best you. Go try to pull the best version of yourself out of you, because nobody like is gonna nobody wants to water down you. So go concentrate yourself. Go get some substance in you. Go make yourself a better version of who you are, because a lot of people come to me and say, "Yo, I want to be like you. I want to do what you do, and I want to do this. I want to do that, and I want to be like you." But at the end of the day, y'all got to realize it's already a me. It's already me. Like, go be you. Go be the best version of you. Somebody told me before starting my career, well, in my career, that in order to succeed in this industry or anything, you got to create a character. You got to become a character. People like characters. And I was like, damn. So you telling me that if I just stay true to who I am, I'm not going to make it? And it was like, yeah, pretty much. Boy, was my mom wrong. And you know what I mean? And now
Oh, that's awesome.
now
Um,
my mom is one of my biggest supporters, and I'm able to help financially take care of my mother. And you know what I mean? So I every day we laugh about it. Like, me and my mom talk every day, and she like, "Boy, I'm proud of you." And I'm like, "Mom, I'm proud of you. Like, you birthed this, but you also helped mold this." You know what I mean? And so for all you guys that have children, understand, don't let your children be don't let somebody tell you that your children are going to hold you back. Your children should be why you wake up and go hard every damn day. Like, don't let nobody tell you that you going to get held back because of a situation. No, you choose the situations you want to be into. You choose the situations that you want to be held back from, but you also choose the situations you put yourself in to succeed. And, you know, I tell my team this all the time: love life, love each other, respect each other, and everything else gonna fall into place. And if you could do that, then you golden. Mind your damn business too. Like, stay out of other people's business. If you ain't watching Tiger King, then you don't want to know more other ratchet stuff. You know, I told my daughter before, she used to come home and say, Dad, you want to hear the tea from school? You want to hear the tea from school? And finally, as a father, you just had to listen. But then at one point, I was like, listen, if you ain't talking about tea from Starbucks or Teavana, I don't want to hear no other tea. Like, you are focusing on the wrong tea. And so you guys got to take that negative tea out your life and put the positive tea in and help filter your body, because a lot of people waste their mind. Don't waste your mind at these times. Like, love the people you're supposed to love on, respect the people you're supposed to respect, give respect to everybody though. But, to give it, you got to get it. And, just be happy. Be happy in these times. And yeah, they tough times right now, but at the end of the day, man, we all gonna make it through this one if you just stay in the house like you supposed to.
well, John, I cannot thank you enough again for coming through. You've always been really dependable and really amazing. I know a lot of these kids are stoked right now, and they all want to rewatch this because they're all asking me, where can we watch this again? So on behalf of my boss and Bellus Academy, and just for me as a friend, like I really appreciate doing this.
Ah, man, like I say, anytime you need me, holla at your boy. You know where to find me. I'm always gonna be there for you. That's just like I said. You rocked with me in the mud, so when we get to the beaches, we cool. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you as a friend. I appreciate you just having me as a mentor and looking at me as somebody, as a peer in your industry that you could call on to and get advice. Like, much respect to that. So yeah, always.